Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today's upload is going to be about the potential for several large snowstorms across especially the northern and central part of the country, not necessarily the eastern part of the country, but especially even the western, northern, and central. At least that's what the European model is saying. And I just wanted to make this quick little video. Hopefully it's under 10 minutes. If it's not, then I do apologize for extending it a little bit. If you'd like to support my channel, there's a button like this down below. If you're not subscribed, it'll look like this. Click on it and you'll be subscribed and you're supporting my channel. Again, it's up to you. So what we're looking right now is windy.com. It's similar to a website like Tropical Tidbits. It has all the weather models and has different variations like the rain, the snow, the radar, the lightning, the wind, the clouds, the waves. So I use this one just for the European model because on Tropical Tidbits they don't have the European model in terms of showing the actual surface precip. They have the European model, if I were to go right here, but it only shows the actual storms and doesn't really show the actual wind, or doesn't show the precipitation shield with it. So let's go to rain. Let's just go stick to rain and thunder. So right now we're looking at Sunday 1 p.m., which is when I'm recording this video. Let's just go to 6 p.m. You can see this little clipper. It is technically a clipper because it came from Canada, has that wind behind it, has cold air behind it, except that it has rain and not snow. And usually when you hear clipper, you associate it with snow and not rain. Well, this time around it's going to be rain, and only it's going to be snow where the enough cold air is, and that's all the way in Canada. You can see that passes through. We get a day of calmness, but this storm is, sorry about that. See, that's why I don't really like this website, because it always zooms way out and I do the slightest clicking, so I apologize if that happens anymore throughout the video. But you're seeing right now the storm making its way down from into the west, dropping quite a bit of snow into Idaho, western Montana, and northwestern Wyoming, and that is leaving some snow behind. You can see this system, a piece of energy of it drops down into the plains. You can see it's right there, and essentially this brings up moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. You can see it's already bringing up quite a good dose of rain, and this is Tuesday, so the day after tomorrow. This week, Tuesday, at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, you could see a good rain shield is spreading throughout the country, bringing some scattered thunderstorms, but mainly just a steady, constant rain into the plains and the Midwest. You could see quite a bit of heavy rain actually along with this, and then that passes through. You can see there's a second piece of it farther back here in the mountains, bringing snow to areas like southern Colorado, Denver, and into areas like northwestern Mexico, New Mexico, sorry. And you can see this later on brings quite a good dose of rain to the Ohio Valley. And if you were to look at the 6 to 10 day outlook, the Ohio Valley will be seeing lots and lots of rain over the next 8 to 14 days. I might need to make a video on that separately. Very, very big storms passing through. But after that storm passes through, you can see this is next week already. This is Saturday, the 3rd of November, 10 a.m. And you can see that this is what the European model is saying. The European model is saying that a storm will be making its way off the west coast and off the Pacific Ocean and making its way into the parts of northern United States. And right there's a spin, and that indicates a low pressure. And you can see there's actually plenty of cold air with this, some fairly heavy snow with this into northern North Dakota, and into even parts of Minnesota. And of course, the mountainous northwest will be receiving fairly good amounts of snow. And we move on to, this is Saturday 2 p.m. You can see it shifts further east, and there's snow behind it, snow in front of it. There's plenty of cold air for this to be producing quite a bit of snow for parts of the upper plains, while in the southern plains, areas like Kansas, Missouri, and into Illinois, some rainfall is expected, not snow. It's not cold enough, but you can see that's basically the first major snowstorm that I'll be talking about, because this video will be titled something like couple of snowstorm possibilities over the next couple of days. And you can see there's a spin right there, very defined, and brings quite a good dose of snow to the northern plains. I'll show you the snowfall total amounts in just a minute. But you can see also a second piece of energy, or maybe even a completely different storm, depends on how everything plays out. Drops down into the west. We move this through Monday, 7 o'clock in the morning. So this is already next week, Monday. You're seeing quite a good dose of snow occurring across Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, Wyoming, and this spreads out into parts of the plains, actually fairly far out to the east, probably the furthest out to the east out of all these storms in terms of snow. And this could actually start bringing in quite a good dose of snow into portions like Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois. You can see it spreading into Iowa. This is Monday, 9 o'clock in the afternoon. This is Tuesday, 2 a.m. And we'll need to see how this plays out. But you could see a very good shot of some snow across these portions. Anywhere you see that, those snowflakes, that's what it actually is. May not seem like it, but those are snowflakes. You could see quite a good dose of snow. Nothing heavy, but again, it's the first snowfall of the season if this were to occur for many, and that could lead to quite a good or bad travel, headache, and issues. So that is that. You can see the European model only goes out to about 10-11 days, which is still fairly far out, and it is fairly consistent. But again, this snowstorm potentially in the Midwest being so far out, we will need to keep an eye on this. It probably will change for sure, jumping around. This is probably not a set in stone storm, but I just wanted to make this video showing that the pattern is getting active and that these snowstorms will be probably occurring, but maybe different timing in different places than what it's showing right now. That first storm occurring in the northern plains will rather occur fairly. I have fairly high confidence in that. If we were going to go to new snow, this is the next 3 days. You could see not much, some scattered snow showers in the northeast, quite a little bit of snow in the mountainous west, nothing insane, maybe up to 10 inches, which may seem like a lot, but for the mountains, that's not, unheard of during this time of the year. I mean, it's already November. November 1st is going to be Thursday. And we go to next 5 days, you can see we have that snowstorm or that system in the plains or in the southern Colorado, northern New Mexico area, bringing quite a good dose of snow. Again, the mountainous northwest continues to get pounded by snow, and then the next 10 days you could see a lot of snow happens, a lot of precipitation falls down across the country. You could see it spreads out into areas like Nebraska, into even portions like Michigan, Iowa. So let's go say into Iowa, 2.4 inches. In Nebraska, the heavier amounts should be around 5 inches. Again, if the storm would actually happen. And then we go out to the northern plains, and we actually start seeing these fairly large amounts of snow. And this is with that first system that I was showing you, with that big spin, fairly large system out here in the northern plains. We go right here, you could see up to, I think, 15, even more inches, around 13 inches of rain. 13 inches of snow, 13 fairly consistent, so we'll definitely need to watch that. But otherwise, outside of that, 2 inches, so this may be the first named winter storm of the season. I'm surprised they haven't named a couple other systems that have already occurred, but I think in the next 2 weeks we'll definitely get our first named system or snowstorm of the season. And you could definitely start seeing southeastern Canada, Quebec, definitely getting quite a good dose of snow with that, also with all these systems, 10, 11, 12 inches of snow. So definitely something to keep an eye on. If we were to look at the mountainous northwest, let's say go to areas like Yellowstone, click on there, you can see, I think, up to 20 inches of snow with all these snowstorms. And this won't fall in one system. This will be accumulated over the next 10 days. But again, up 2 feet to 2 to 3 feet is definitely possible. And I would also like to show you the rainfall accumulation, and definitely quite a good dose in the west, but that is mainly falling in snow. But other areas like Washington, Seattle, obviously not seeing all that amount in snow, but the rainfall amounts are going to be fairly high. I mean, you could see up to 12 inches, 10 inches, so fairly good doses of rain. And these storms will be responsible for producing some of the snow here in the plains. And in terms of the eastern part of the country, you could see fairly good amounts of rain in the Ohio Valley, northern Kentucky, southern Indiana, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain, and this is already over fairly saturated grounds and soil, so we'll definitely need to keep an eye on for flooding and certain situations like that. You can see Chicago getting around 2 inches, and again, this is for the next 10 days, so this won't fall in the next 2 days. This is in the next 10 days. If you're wondering how much rain in the next 24 hours, not that much, other than the northwest. Sorry about that. You could seeing quite some amounts of rain over here, as much as 3 inches of rain. If we were to go back now to the next 3 days, we have that system again setting up across the Midwest. Like up to an inch is possible with that. And if we were to now go to the next 5 days, we definitely start seeing those systems starting to ramp up and produce quite a good dose across the east and the west. If we were to look now for this is another depiction of the European model. I just wanted to show you this quickly. You could see, let's just run through this all the way to November 6th, which is around 10-11 days out, and let's go to total snowfall accumulated. Total accumulated snowfall. Let me find that on this. I'm not really too familiar with this, so let's go right here. I haven't used this website too much, but you can see it gives you a fairly good example of what's to come and what could happen in terms of the snowfall amounts. Very, very heavy amounts of snow here in British Columbia and Alberta, Canada. However, the Northwest seeing quite a good dose again, and this is basically the same thing I showed you here, just a different little map and a different website. So possible snow spreading across the country as we go on. 6 to 10 day outlook, you could see blues and reds at the same time. So the reds indicate above average temperatures, and the blue indicate below average temperatures. And you can see even the Northwest being above average, still quite a good dose of snow is gonna fall, because it's getting to that time of the year where above average doesn't necessarily mean above freezing. And again, in terms of precip, very large amounts of rain across the eastern part of the country and even the Northwest. I would probably include some more darker shades of green right there. For the Northwest, and because I do think they'll be seeing quite a good dose of rain. And you can see the 8 to 14 day outlook, same thing, very good amounts of precip, and the temperatures stay, they decrease a little bit across or I should say they increase in the probabilities of being a little bit warmer than average for parts of the central part of the country, and in the western and eastern stay fairly above average. So that is basically it for today's video. I was going to show you one more thing, but I'm seeing that I'm running out of time. I made this video a little bit too long. So that is it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something new, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya.